I did start a job this week. And the job is, in fact, in the same building that Sam works in. So now Sam and I both live together and work together and do this hobby together. And yet, despite all of that, today I was in the office for about an hour on the first day that both Sam and I were in the office on the same day. And I was like, oh man, I should go find Sam to say hi.
Nice.
And it had been like, what, 2 hours since we had already said hi for the day?
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Midlight Crisis, a real podcast hosted by three grown-up biologists revisiting books from our teens, and it's totally cool. I am one of your hosts, Sophie, and today I have forgotten how I do this part. But I know that I am 2% a bird with a superpower.
Nailed it.
Genetically recombined? Do I usually say that? It's been months since we've recorded.
That's fine.
I have been genetically recombined with a bird that has a superpower. There, I remembered it. The bird that I have been genetically recombined
Oh my God,
with.
stop saying genetically recombined.
Genetically recombined with is a vampiric bog booby. Yeah. Bog booby.
A bog booby.
A bog booby.
And it's a vampire.
And it's a vampire. Honestly, bogs seem like a reasonable place for a vampire.
Yeah, vampiric and bog go together well. It's the booby that's the problem.
Yeah.
The vampires are gotta have boobies? What are they?
Explain.
Vampires have boobies.
Do they? The bird?
Oh, no, but they've got real boobies.
Do they? All of them?
I mean, men technically have tits.
That's true. They do have breast tissue.
This is a great question.
Does it still count as a breast if it is petrified like a Twilight vampire and therefore unable to lactate?
Wow. That sounds a little, I was going to say insensitive, but
Insensitive to whom?
I don't...
I'm sure there are plenty of people out there whose boobs don't work.
Yeah, but they still have the correct structure of a boob. Do you still have the structure
Exactly.
if you're a vampire? And all of your tissues and fluids turn into diamond and or venom? Does it still count? I guess Edward still has a penis, and we decided that counts.
Yeah. Are we deciding that all vampires are Twilight vampires?
Yeah.
When did we decide this?
I didn't tell you, but yeah, that's what we decided.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to catch up.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't follow my extremely coherent train of thoughts there.
Yeah. You're right. No, I'm the diving bird.
Yeah, those are better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is a bog booby like questionable because bogs are like particularly not known for having deep water?
Listen.
Is that where the issue is?
I mean, I was concerned more about the fact that boobies are, to my knowledge, explicitly marine birds, and bogs are pretty freshwater, I think.
Yeah.
Also, I think that vampires and bogs are both spooky, and boobies are the goofiest bird other than putus, you know, what are those called?
Yeah.
Frogmouths?
Yeah.
All of those kinds of ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the most goofy, and boobies are the second most
The
spooky.
most. Oh, wow. That's like a decisive decision.
Yeah, I decided it at the same time that I decided that all vampires are Twilight vampires.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
making a lot
yeah.
of executive decisions today.
Yeah, I'm surprised that like none of the ridiculous birds of paradise made it in there above them, but you know, that's fine.
Well, it's the face that makes it ridiculous to me. Like,
Right.
you can have a flamboyant body and you're just like, wow, you're just like dressed up really fancy.
Yeah, I mean, an Andean cock of the rock though is pretty silly.
I don't know what those look like, but based on the name, I'm sure they're hilarious.
Yeah, it's up there. Anyway, who are you guys?
I'm not a vampire, but I'm Sam, and I am
The two options.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm genetically recombined with a mind-reading bagel bird. I just got bird.
Bird?
Just a regular bird.
Just a bird.
A bagel bird.
I didn't know that was in there, but maybe I missed the type.
My God, a bagel.
A bagel bird.
I'm just a bagel bird.
Is the bird
but
round
I'm
with a hole
mind-reading.
in the middle?
Yeah.
That's scary.
It is.
Mind-reading bagel bird. I feel like a mind-reading bagel bird is just like a gull.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
It's like getting your bagels. Somehow it knows when you're at your weakest.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Or just like, unfortunately, my favorite bagel is a sesame seed bagel. And so I am just imagining like a regular ass pigeon, but covered in sesame seeds.
Yeah, exactly. That's me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am Hannah, and today I have been genetically recombined with a dissolving cave merganser.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
hold
even know
on.
what that is.
Everyone pause.
What is
Yeah,
that?
how is dissolving a superpower? Are you...
Okay, that's not the part I was concerned about.
No, it's like I can dissolve into water and then reprecipitate wherever I want to be. So that's actually a pretty good superpower.
I don't know
if you think about it.
I don't know that precipitation is in the description. It just says dissolving.
So I can only do it once.
Yeah.
Maybe I can dissolve other things.
Maybe. Maybe you could just dissolve very tiny amounts of yourself for some reason.
Yuck.
There goes a finger.
Oh, I don't think of a finger as being a tiny part of myself, personally.
I mean, relatively.
I suppose relatively.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
What was the rest of it? Cave
merganser.
Birds love caves.
Do they?
Especially ducks.
Do they?
Is that a type of duck? I don't know what it is.
They're like a very pointy duck. They have really pointy faces.
They do have pointy faces. Are they the ones that have like the spiky hair too?
Yeah.
Like they look a little punk rock?
They got, like a punk rock duck.
Band name called it.
Yeah. Punk rock. This is the punk rock
Punk
ducks.
rock ducks. Okay.
I was about to say like live from or featuring, but then I realized I didn't know any musical venues.
Live
or
from the dissolving cave.
other bands. Yeah. Dissolving cave. Anyway, the reason, of course, we are all part bird is because we're reading Max Will Ride, The Angel Experiment. The book that has the genetically recombined bird kids in it, obviously, of course. Everyone knows it, everyone loves it, including us. As usual, we have read 4 chapters of this book this week. How about you guys tell us what happened in them?
Well, our kids are getting ambushed yet again by cops in all directions. So their only option now is to fly away. What did I write? So their only option now is to go up in the middle of this restaurant. And that's exactly what they do. They start flying in the restaurant, causing a huge scene, escaping through a window in the ceiling. Fun! Anyways,
So fun.
Once out of the restaurant and into the trees of chapter 106, we finally get the return of the erasers and our favorite bad boy eraser.
Finally.
Ari. The erasers surround
Yay.
the tree the flock is hiding in. Max and Ari talk about their past, and Ari somehow pulls Celeste out of a pocket and taunts Angel with it. And then Angel, of course, wants to go to the bear, then mind controls the fuck out of Ari to give it to her, and scuttles back up the tree like absolutely nothing happened. And then the erasers just give up and leave. I don't know, man. It's weird vibes. And Angel is defo evil.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's
That's it. That's all.
Angel is super evil. Yeah.
so evil.
She's so evil.
So evil.
Well, the flock finds a new place to roost in an under-construction high-rise building nearby, where Max, like me, wonders if Jeb is the mysterious director that Ari mentioned in the previous chapter. After going grocery shopping and doing their cute little hand stack, most of the flock falls asleep, but not Max. She, like me, is wondering why Ari stopped the eraser pack and just left. She also, like me, is worried about Angel's rapidly developing mind control powers. The voice shows up briefly just to be a cryptic little shit again, and then Max falls asleep into chapter 108, where she wakes up to a muffin and multiple newspaper stories about the flock's conspicuous escape from the restaurant, with headlines like, "Miracle or Illusion, Superhumans or Genetic Freaks." It looks like the kids are going to have to lay low for a while, which is surely going to be so good for the plot of this book.
Yeah, as if they'll do that.
They better not.
They better not lay low.
It's boring enough already.
What are you talking about? So much happened in these chapters.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like the erasers came back.
Finally!
We're just skipping a whole entire chapter to get to the erasers, huh?
No, that's not what I wasn't intended. I just was as an example. I didn't have anything to say about that. Other than Sam predicted it from the beginning.
She did.
Yeah. I guess that's what happens when you just predict the same thing over and over and over. It's not insanity. It's just you're bound to be right eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually it comes true.
Look, it's not your fault because the erasers showed up every half chapter for the first half of the book, and then they just stopped appearing. So really, it had to happen.
Exactly. And my brain works in statistics, and you're giving me enough data points to support that the erasers are going to show up every 3 chapters, and then it just disappears all of a sudden. Like, I can't inform a model with this inconsistency. You're not giving me the data I need.
I was just about to say, the model Sam has built for this book predicts that the erasers come back.
I would love if Sam built a predictive model for this stupid book.
I do not like this book enough. I am so sorry. I would do it for Twilight.
Yep.
I will not do it for this.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. James Patterson does not deserve my math.
That's a great point.
Wow. That is rough. Coming from Sam.
Harsh.
James Patterson does not deserve the math.
Anyway, in the first chapter, they yeet themselves from this restaurant. But there is like a protracted, for this book, by which I mean it was about 2 paragraphs, a protracted scene of all 6 of the bird kids flying around in this restaurant. I am confused as to how they fit and had the dexterity to do this. Thoughts?
Yeah.
I thought that this restaurant, in my brain, I thought it was like not a cathedral, but I in my head, I'm like, oh, this is a really high ceiling restaurant. I don't know why. And it was before they started flying too. I just had this vision of them walking into this bougie ass restaurant that has super high ceilings. And maybe it was described. I don't think it was. Or maybe my brain just did that. But I feel like there was room, but not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also had the mental image of them being in like a conservatory type space. So maybe that came from the text, but we read that last year, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dad joke central over here. It's January 20th. Listen, I've been in a keg that has really high ceilings, you know, like.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes fancy restaurants, they just got high ceilings.
And I guess this one does have multiple themed rooms, so clearly there is a large footprint, enough for 6 bird kids with up to 13-foot wingspans, I guess, to hover in, though, like.
Well, actually, I say pushing my glasses up my face slightly.
Are you doing that in real life?
Yeah, I did, just to make sure. It really did the microphone pick it up? Okay, great. Because the only bird that can hover actually is a hummingbird. So they could not hover. They were flying in circles.
Do you think they can fly in tight circles?
Yeah. Like, it does say that Fang is doing circles around the room.
That's true.
And so, I mean, if you think about it, like, a pretty big restaurant, it's got, like, a lot of floor space, you know?
True.
Like, it's not like it's a room with, like, 4 tables.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's probably got more. I don't know if you've ever seen videos of hawks, like, hovering or, like, a kestrel hovering or anything, but I learned this today. Apparently they aren't actually hovering. They're doing like what's called wind hovering, where they just face into like a headwind and use the like force of the wind to create lift over their wings. And they can stay stationary in that, but they require like the wind like blowing over them. So unless this restaurant is a wind tunnel, which I think they maybe would have mentioned, they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah. After I looked that up, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how like, I assumed they were hovering in part because Max is, like, taking in the scene below her. And so I assumed she was just, like, flapping in place, looking down at everyone and watching this happen. And so I was like, maybe I should, if they're not hovering, then they must be flying. And I'm like, maybe there's, like, something interesting about how birds can, like, track prey with their eyes that are, while they're in motion. Because, like, that's a thing birds do.
Yeah, for sure. And is there?
Well, it mostly just reminded me of all the things that I think we also went over with the vampires having high visual acuity, which is like their eyeballs are probably like a third the size of their head. They probably can't move their eyes in their eye sockets. So they're probably just moving. You know that thing in videos of hawks where they like waggle their head a little bit that's how they have depth perception. Okay. They like move their head back and forth or forward and back to like try and see the depth of things in front of them.
Yeah, rats do that.
So imagining that's what Max is doing while flying through the air.
Yeah, for sure. Just so normal and not at all unnerving.
Yeah. And then also this, not a deep dive, this very shallow dive, this dip got me to find maybe one of my favorite article title that I have read in a long time, which is How Fast Can Raptors See?
Yeah.
Yeah. How fast can birds see?
Isn't seeing just based off the speed of light? Or am I missing something?
Well, so honestly, this paper, I think it uses light flickering or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about the physics of light to understand what was going on in this paper. But I think the idea is that birds can only see things that are moving up to a certain speed, right? So like they can see things like clearly that are moving a lot faster than what we can see clearly.
That makes sense.
Right? So like we see motion blur if like a bug flies by, but they'll be able to see what bug that is kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that's what they're implying here, but it's just very fun.
I think I get it, but the phrasing is
it's so good.
It's pretty great.
How fast could raptors see? I love it. Anyway, the answer is very fast, if you were wondering.
They can see so fast.
Yeah, I don't know how to like understand the numbers that were given or what they actually mean, but I think basically what I understood out of it is that a bird that go fast can see fast.
Yeah.
Like peregrine falcons can see much faster than other birds.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go fast, see fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, go fast, see fast. Exactly. You get it.
I get it.
You get it. Look, I didn't try and parse this paper very well. I just wanted to talk about the title.
Yeah, that's understandable.
No, it's a good title.
Basically what I'm saying is that Max can see the people she's flying over.
Right, okay.
Confirmed.
We got to the answer.
Yeah.
Great.
You're welcome.
I appreciate...
I know you didn't say thank you, but you're welcome.
Listen, I appreciate you doing your absolute best to try to bring some biology back into this podcast, because I couldn't find much.
I think it's
I have another one,
talent.
but we don't have to do them 2 in a row.
How did you, literally, how did you find 2 things? Like, I read these chapters and I'm just like, well, that sucks. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
The problem is that I always find something, like several somethings, within the first, 2 sentences, and then the rest of the chapters, I'm like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, no, I can't space them out.
Yeah. Well, I'll insert something in the middle then, because there was a nice little detail that I liked from this chapter. Which unfortunately I think has to put a tiny bit of redemption towards James Patterson and his ghostwriter.
Oh my god. I wonder if it's the exact same thing.
It probably is.
Go ahead.
Well, because our listeners may remember that we have been complaining about how little the authors of this book use the specific traits that they give to the characters. One of my chief complaints being the fact that Izzy being blind is just not really a thing ever, for good or evil. And there's just like a nice little detail in this one where they're in this like presumably kind of tight novel environment trying to fly. And did I say Izzy before? I meant Iggy. uh, there's a nice little detail of Iggy navigating through this unfamiliar space by putting his hand gently on Nudge's ankle and kind of following her movements, which I thought was a very nice touch.
Okay, wait. But are we...
Uh-huh.
Now I need to wonder what the confirmation they are while flying is again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming in this specific case that Iggy is slightly behind and below Nudge.
Right, and so Nudge in this scenario is horizontal.
Yeah, I think because of this detail, we have to maybe throw out the fetal position theory.
That's so
Although
sad.
I suppose they could be in the fetal position and he could just be reaching up to touch her ankle.
Yeah. He's like actually below and slightly in front.
This is so fucked up.
God, it's still so funny to imagine.
Makes me laugh every time. Oh my god.
They're like both holding their knees like they're doing a cannonball.
Yeah, and Iggy just has one hand up. They're just like flying around like a couple of winged eggs.
And they both have like very concerned, like anxious
Yeah,
expressions
for sure.
on. Oh my god, it's so
Oh,
funny.
Jesus.
Still good. Wild. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying about that?
No, that was it. I just liked it. I took like 3 whole
Okay.
minutes to say that I liked that one sentence.
Wow. No, it's great. I love it. That was not what I had.
Wow, 3 whole things.
But it was the exact same moment, or I guess the sentence before it, because we have complained about the writing a lot.
Yeah.
I think Fang smashing through the window in a rainbow-colored crash is a really good turn of phrase.
It is very good.
Because it's a stained glass window that he just like catapults himself through. And I like stopped and did like a double take reading that sentence. I was like, a rainbow colored crash is good. I like that a lot.
I agree.
It's so fun. Really works.
It's so good.
It's so good. Anyway.
Yeah, every once in a while there's a diamond in this turd. Is that how that expression goes?
Yep, that's it for sure. That's the one. I guess I sort of had 3 things. Wow, this is wild. Because I also wanted to talk about the bird kids getting through this tiny window in flight.
Yeah.
Because that's just like goshawks. Have you ever seen a video of a goshawk like flying through teeny tiny holes?
I think so.
No.
I've definitely seen some kind of raptor doing it, and it's delightful.
Yeah, there have been like, I think a couple videos. I think they were on BBC, and then they ended up on YouTube, and they've just made rounds of like Twitter or Tumblr or whatever. But it's like someone who... They essentially have like a false wall, and they have the person with like a trained falconry goshawk, but goshawks are like native to forests, so they can do like these wild acrobatic feats through trees. Like they have to duck between trees while chasing prey, like on the wing, you know? So it's like kind of wild what they can accomplish. And so it's like this slow-mo video of this hawk being like launched on one side of this wall, and there's like a hole just like the size of the hawk's body essentially in this wall, and the lure is on the other side. And so it's just like this hole getting smaller and smaller, and then the shape changing to like a vertical slit or like a sideways slit or like a tube. Nice. And this hawk can just like contort its body in like wild ways to not only like get through the hole, but to be able to push off from it slightly. So whichever way it turns itself, it can like hook a talon into the edge, or like the twist turns into like a roll that keeps its speed. And it's just like really cool to watch. And so I kind of want that for the bird kids. I want them to be kind of cool getting through this window.
Yeah. That is very cool. I was imagining just like torpedo
falling,
like Superman, tuck the wings in and do a
right
through the hole.
Yeah, but yes, that's sort of what the goshawk does.
But it sounded cooler when you said it.
Yeah. The thing about this video though is it also is just like, you can see one of the most integral parts is that like the minute it gets out of the hole, it like the tail opens first, acting like a third wing. And it's like, well, The bird kids don't have that.
I have been kind of wondering how they steer.
Yeah, it's like birds need tails.
Yeah, do they use their feet? Do they do the plank position and they use their feet to steer?
How? We've been
We
over
have-
this. It's the same problem.
Maybe.
The physics don't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense. The
No.
bird kids are nuclear reactors, and
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
uh,
I think maybe I've said this before. I hope they just haven't described it previously, but the bird kids' legs are just like bird leg thin.
mm-hmm.
Then the
Yeah.
counterbalancing would be fine.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe
Yeah.
they. Why am I even saying this? Maybe they can retract their legs like claws.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
Into
Stop.
pockets in their hips.
No.
Yeah, they just fold.
Oh my
they
God.
they have extremely mobile hip joints, and they just fold their legs up all the way, so their knees are just under their armpits, and their feet are at their hips.
Oh,
I'm done.
my god, I've played so many I've played so many poorly made video games where there's like a crouch feature, but when you like zoom out to look at your character, it's just that your torso has like filled the same space that your legs are in without anything like folding. So you just have like two legs sort of coming up out of your shoulders.
Yeah, like that, exactly.
And that's sort of what I'm
Yeah,
imagining.
exactly like that.
Awful.
Look, Sam, it's just science.
Yeah, I don't see what the problem is. It's just biology.
No.
John Scalzi's gonna write a book about it, and then we'll have to agree.
Wow, yeah. See, he will make it sound both exciting and legit.
Yeah.
Hey, I was on board with our dragons, our nuclear reactors. And so when that
Okay,
like,
but I
no,
wasn't.
but me and Hannah were very much. I just would like that on record again.
Well-
I supported that theory.
It's a good theory. John
It was
Scalzi
a
agrees.
great
Well then,
theory.
yeah, you're gonna be on board when John Scalzi writes about bird kids folding their legs into their entire chest.
But he's not going to.
John Scalzi, I know you're listening. Please.
We're your biggest fans who only discovered your books last year.
Yeah, and we've only read at most two
Yeah.
of them, but
But big fans of that one
Big
specifically.
fans.
I guess
Yeah,
we should say,
spoilers, I guess.
yeah, the Kaiju Preservation Society is the book we're talking about. It's really good. You should go read it.
Yeah,
There are
That's
not
good.
nuclear dragons in it, but, close enough.
It's
Yeah,
close enough.
There's something related to that.
It's close enough.
Yeah. The other bird leg related biology topic I had was about Max jumping into the air 13 feet.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, before we're doing this in order, as you can tell, before they break through the window or even get into the air, Max complains about not taking a running leap into the air, just jumping straight up. Maybe we've talked about this before. I'm getting some.
Yeah. We talked about Saphira's mad hops before with her vertical takeoff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess same issue applies here because I did look it up and like birds have to be able to jump high enough for their wings on the downstroke to clear the ground, which granted, they have the wing lift
True.
as they jump. So it's like not like a human having to
Yeah,
jump.
an assisted jump.
And again, yeah. And Max has a 13-foot wingspan, which means it's like 6.5,
True.
one wing each,
Yeah.
right? So I looked up some high jump records, and then I looked up vertical standing jumps because I was thinking about it and I was like, well, high jump,
Yeah, that's a different
you
thing.
get a lot of
Yeah.
momentum. Yeah. You like flip your legs into the air to help you get higher. So that's not really probably what Max is doing.
That would be awesome, though.
But yeah, I guess like a vertical jump, the highest someone has jumped is like 4 feet, a basketball player. So, I mean, I guess that's believable then. If he had wings,
Yeah.
he could probably jump to 6 feet.
Yeah, I think the problem with this now is that it contradicts our brand new skinny bird legs theory because they would need to have sick quads to be able to make that kind of a jump.
That's what I was gonna
Well,
say.
regular
Right?
Yeah, no, there's no way they
regular
can have
birds
like.
can jump with their legs.
Yeah, but. That's a fair point.
But they have human
Hear me out.
bodies.
Yeah, I think
like most of their bodies are human-y.
Did we establish that they have hollow bones?
Okay.
Yeah, right? Yes? Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I think they have to.
Yeah.
They have to,
hollow
right?
We
bones.
decided they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then maybe the jump is feasible with their skinny little bird legs.
They are also light, so they have that going for them.
And if they're
Yeah.
like more leg than torso,
Yeah.
I'm just
got legs for days.
yes.
Look, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
for sure.
Like if a regular human with a normal human body density, you know, bones heavy.
I do know about bones.
Yeah.
Bones are
Yeah.
heavy. And if a person can jump 4 feet with heavy bones, surely a child with wings can jump 6 feet.
Yeah, I think we can
Yeah.
allow this. Especially because Max
Yeah.
does explicitly say that it was kind of hard.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't say it
As
in
long
those
as she
words,
says, as long as she's like, this sucks, then it's fine.
but yeah. Well, she does drop alarmingly toward the ground, which I suppose when you think of her only jumping 6 feet, but only being 6 feet above the ground is kind of funny. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I am way too much of a weenie to jump from 6 feet, so disregard.
Not if there's water underneath. That's the only
Yeah.
time.
Or like one of those foam pits
yeah.
at like a gymnastics school.
Yeah, a trampoline.
No.
No, then I'd jump even
Yeah,
higher.
that's too scary.
Yeah. I just am trying to imagine me trying to like jump high enough that wings could not hit the ground, and I'm like, it would be so pathetic to
Yeah,
watch.
I can't even do a box jump, so
I would jump like a foot off the ground.
I think a foot would be like as much as I could hope for. That would be a good jump for me, I
I
think.
certainly couldn't box jump onto a table.
No.
No. I bet Julian could be a bird kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, making over my boyfriend to be a bird kid. Jenna Marvel's new video.
Jenna, get on it. We know you're listening. You and John Scalzi, you listen
know
together.
you're listening.
Your triumphant
Yeah.
return to the internet, turning my husband into a bird kid.
Yeah.
God, she would do that too.
Anyway, what else happened in these chapters?
They went back to fucking Central Park again.
Yeah,
Yup.
a maple
A
tree.
maple tree.
Love the Canadian representation.
Do you guys know what the phrase "you keep showing up like a bad penny" means? Because Max says that to Ari when he shows up in their tree, at their tree. I've never heard that in my life.
Oh, I've heard it a lot
I don't think
in
I
books.
Oh.
have. Oh.
Yeah, it's like a saying that I know of. I don't particularly know like what a bad penny is,
Right?
but I know it is a saying, and from context clues throughout my life, I have figured out what it means. So you just keep turning up, and I don't want you here.
Okay, well, yeah, I had inferred that.
Yeah.
I feel like a bad penny is just like one on the ground. Like, you just know, pennies used to be all over the ground when they existed. Maybe it's just something like that. I googled Bad Penny, and there's a band named Bad
That's
Penny,
true.
so I don't know.
Wow.
There's also several songs called Bad Penny.
So it must be based on like the phrase then. I assumed it was like it just keeps showing up like in your pockets, and you're like, God damn it, I thought this was a loony.
Oh, that would be upsetting.
You know?
Yeah. I was thinking, you know, when you would get the old pennies that were like kind of tarnished, so they were a little like coppery oxidized, and it looked like they had lichen growing on them, but it wasn't lichen, it was just dirty, and they like smelled like dirt. I was imagining one of those.
Yeah.
And you find it on the ground and you're like, yuck, this is a bad one.
They always come back.
I didn't get that far because I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either, really. I looked it up and it was just like, wow, it's just people you don't like that keep turning up. I'm like, yeah, but why is it a bad penny?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
There's a lot of things on the internet about this. It looks like it's like dates back a really long time ago, and it has to do. It seems like I was like mostly right. It's like the fact that like a bad penny's on the ground, like it just kind of keeps turning up. Because you'd always find pennies on the ground, so that's kind of where it came from. But then this one's saying that it dates back to like ancient Greece when coins didn't represent value; they were the values. So like if you cut off a bit of it, Yeah, so like if like the coin itself, so even
Okay.
a bit of the coin was worth something. It wasn't the coin, it was the metal of the coin. And so something to do with like counterfeit currency.
Oh.
And so like if the coin wasn't perfectly round, like it's a bad penny. So like and that's just like counterfeit money. I don't know how legit this is. There's a lot of things here and it's apparently gone back very far.
So like it would be from when like the coin was like like a gram of silver, and it was worth a silver was worth a certain amount because it was a gram of silver, and so you'd be like, hell yeah, I got
exactly
a silver penny, and then you'd show up and they'd be like, actually it's not a full gram. So
exactly
okay.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be the trending topic. Something along those lines.
I believe
Having
it.
to do with counterfeit money than anything.
Exciting. Thrilling. Thrilling,
Fun.
one would say.
I guess comparing Ari to counterfeit money is a little apropos since you think he's a real boy child. No, because he's a fucking adult man now. You think he's an adult man, but he's actually a 9-year-old mutant child.
And then you think he's an adult man, but he's actually a child. And then, just kidding, you were wrong again because he's actually a dog.
Yeah. Somehow all three of those things at once. Half boy, half
double
man,
bad
half
penny.
Dog.
All knife. All dad. No, that I'm not making McElroy references on this podcast. Yes, I'm glad we solved that.
Yeah.
That's wild that you haven't heard it before, though. I feel like it comes up in maybe. Okay, hold on.
You read a lot
maybe
of historical romance.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's because it's a ye olden time. Phrase.
I mean, maybe I just never
just
paid attention to it, but like I don't have a memory of hearing this, and nor would I like go out of my way to say to someone, "You keep showing up like a bad penny." That seems so weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I did that? Just going around.
You said that to me?
I'll bring it back.
Yeah, now I kind of want to.
No, I said, imagine if I started doing that, just like to anybody.
Yeah, fair.
That's what Sam is going to say to you when you keep showing up in her office at work.
Her office.
She's following me.
You keep turning up here like a bad
Like
penny.
a bad penny.
Yeah.
You have to say it in an old-timey voice.
Yeah.
Right now? No.
No.
Yes.
Just when you do it to me. Okay.
I'm really bad at
get
voices.
out of here.
I don't want. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna embarrass myself. I embarrass myself enough.
We can
No,
skip
I'm
it.
bad at them too. I'll just embarrass myself. Anyway, more stuff happens after that, I think.
Yeah, we get some Ari backstory where we finally get to see his like actual motivations a bit for the first time, which is character development, I guess.
Yeah.
And the TLDR, I mean, it's not that L, but if you DR it, if you didn't read it, Ari seems to be resentful of the fact that he was trapped in the school just like all of the other kids. His dad didn't pay attention to him. His dad was like only paying attention to his prize mutant children, and then they all ran away together and Ari was left behind without his dad.
Yeah. It's sort of weird that like every other time Ari has been around, he's just been like a ravening beast.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's like having a whole ass conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's like holding back the other erasers from being ravening beasts.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if maybe he got brain chipped, mind.
I mean, he's certainly brainwashed in some way or another, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's through sci-fi technology or just like the regular ways that brainwashing actually happens to people, he's definitely been abused and conditioned.
Because like every other time we've complained about, it's like, why the hell are they just letting this monster man just like almost kill their bajillion-dollar experiments? Like, what are they even doing here? What is going on? This is terrible. Experimental design. What is happening? And then now, because they did that so many times before, it's just like, why now is it more normal? Like, this feels more like what should be happening.
Yeah.
But why now?
Yeah, it's still a weird change in tactic for Because for anybody who might not remember, previously it has basically just been all attack with the erasers, right? They show up, they try to eat the bird kids or whatever. And this time they show up, they surround the tree, Ari does his little like taunting backstory, and then they leave.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
I don't get it.
I don't understand it either.
So strange.
Like, why? It's just, it's going against all the data. I don't like
this model is breaking down.
I can't predict what's happening.
Normally that's a good thing in a book, one could argue. Goddamn outliers. Erasers, George.
This box plot is going to be crazy. Anyway.
One thing that I found interesting from this is we learned that Ari has like dark curly hair. I can't remember what Jeb looks like, but for some reason, I don't know why this is sticking to me so much. Max has straight blonde hair, and we know her mom is Latina. And if Ari is like emblematic of his father and has dark curly hair, those are both dominant traits. So how did Max come out being blonde?
They could both have the recessive blonde gene. There's a 25% chance.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, they would just have to both have it.
I was just about to say, both my parents have dark brown hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But my grandmother has like tawny, like blonde, or had, I guess, on my dad's side. She had like tawny blonde hair, and all of my dad and all of his brothers have dark brown hair.
All of your dad?
All of my dad.
How much of your dad?
All of my dad's family. All of the mans have dark brown hair. But me, my brother, and my cousin all had like golden blonde brown hair until we got like older.
Yeah, you have pretty light hair.
So there.
Recessive
Science
genes.
that.
I can't. Recessive genes.
Recessive genes. Yeah. Must be it.
I don't know anything about genetics.
Let's do a Punnett square real quick.
Real quick, do a Punnett square. We'll have to try to figure out what Jeb looks like.
I feel like he just has brown hair, you know?
Yeah, it's just like generic white person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking as a white person with brown hair, pretty generic.
I thought your hair was green.
Yeah, it doesn't grow like that though.
What?
I wonder who Ari's mother is. Presumably it's not Dr. Martinez, who we spoiled ourselves and we know that is Max's mom, in case anyone's forgotten.
Right. But we don't know if she's Ari's mom.
No.
And we also don't know if Jeb is Ella's dad.
That's true. For some reason, I have assumed... Yeah, like, I'm assuming that Ari has a separate mom and Ella has a different dad. But I think that's just because it would be more upsetting if that wasn't the case.
Yeah. It feels like there was some sort of deal made somewhere with Jeb having one kid.
Yeah.
Dr. Martinez getting to have the other child, and then the third one ends up the experiment.
I hate that.
You know, like the worst sort of deal.
Literally awful.
Yeah.
Yuck.
I mean, the other part is fine. I feel like I've read normal and healthy stories that have like two queer couples that are like, they're gonna have two kids, and one will go with one queer couple and the other one will go with the other couple.
Yes. No, the gross part isn't...
is the experiment.
Yeah, the gross part is the experimenting on your own child. And
divvying
up your children for parts.
Yeah, hence why I wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
The gross part is the experiment on children.
Yeah. Yeah, no, having a non-traditional parenting arrangement isn't inherently gross.
No. Only if experiments are involved.
Yeah, it's gross if you abuse the child. That's a problem.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. Glad we cleared that up.
Yep. Anyway, do we think Jeb is the director?
I feel like, I mean, he's the only...
Gotta be, right?
Yeah, he's the only character from the Institute, really, right? So far?
Yeah.
I guess they could introduce a new one, but that's lame.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it'll be like, oh, yeah, Jeb was the director, hence why him taking you away to the house was never, like, actually... informal.
Yeah. Although, for some reason, I do have it in my head that the director is a woman.
Okay, wait, I also have that. I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a woman involved somewhere.
There's a really insistent part of my brain that's like, no, it's a woman. And And I don't know where that part of my brain is getting its information, but it's really, really insistent.
Yeah.
So maybe they will introduce a new character. I guess the director of the Institute is probably in New York City where the Institute is, and therefore is not
right.
Jeb. I mean, Gasman also thinks Jeb is the director, so, like, we wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah, I thought it was just Max thinking that.
Oh, maybe Gazzy thought something else.
In this chapter, it just says, Nudge said, who is it? And then Max is like, I wondered if it was Jeb, our fake father.
Okay, that's my bad.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I like their cool airy that they make at the end of this chapter. They, like
a nice little
clear
nest.
out a building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some construction workers are going to show up tomorrow morning and be kind of confused.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
I had some friends living in Toronto who were living next to, like, a condo building under construction, and they said that when the wind blew from a certain direction, the building would just scream while it was under construction because the wind would just, like, whistle through it. Like, it wasn't super loud. It was just, like, distant wailing.
Screams. Oh, my God.
And so I'm just like, wow, I wonder if it was just full of bird kids.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Just screaming the night away.
Yeah.
Lying low by screaming in the top of an unfinished building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. I believe it.
You know.
Yeah.
And then the voice turns Max's brain off like a light switch.
Yeah. That's concerning.
What if Angel's the director and she's mind controlling everybody?
Oh. No. But is the voice coming from the director?
Maybe.
Because that makes the little uninformative man in my head who gives me ideas go, that was the stupidest possible way I could have described that sensation.
Yeah. Something in me is deeply like the voice is Jeb.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, your internal man in
your
my
little
head
man
telling
who
me
lives
stuff,
in your head and tells you things.
Yeah, is like, no, it's Jeb. For sure.
Mine doesn't think it's Jeb.
Interesting.
But
our men are in disagreement.
our head men are in conflict. I feel like usually people refer to this as thoughts or memories.
Yeah.
Not.
Like your conscience or...
Not us.
Not a little man who lives in your brain.
There's a little guy who just lives up there and tells me things.
Yeah.
I should probably tell my therapist.
Hey, therapist, what does your little man in your head tell you about...
Does everyone have a little man who lives in their brain and tells them things about Maximum Ride? Yeah. Surely a universal experience.
Yeah. Max does.
See? Me, Max, n equals 2. That's
Same.
enough to do a stat on, right?
Yep.
No, you need
Sophie
to estimate a standard
Don't
deviation.
So Sophie has a man too. That's 3.
I do not volunteer for this study.
Oh no. That's okay. This is the school. We don't need your consent. We're just gonna do unethical experimentation on your brain. Wow. Great. What a good book this is with so many interesting things to talk about.
Yeah. Max gets breakfast to bed the next morning, and I don't understand why I don't understand why it's a bad, like, the bird kids don't want to end up in newspapers.
Yeah. Because they've been told that it's bad.
Yeah. Probably because Jeb told them.
Yeah,
so.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess they're also teenagers. And teenagers often have, like, an inflated sense of their own importance in the world. So they might have a little bit of that going on, too. That's like, well, everybody's gonna want to do things to us. And it's like, probably most people are not.
They are bird kids.
Yeah, but most people are gonna be like, wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna take a selfie with them and leave them alone.
Yeah, but everyone does want something.
That's true, I guess.
When have human beings taking a selfie ever left something alone after?
Okay.
Thousands of animals would disagree.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I forgot how much people are like that.
You forgot what humans are. I get it.
Yeah. My little man doesn't want to think about it.
Your little man.
God, this is weird.
I really hope.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hannah started
I'm
it.
tired. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Coming out weird.
Yeah, I do hope that into the, like it says as we move into the next chapter, I guess we should wear disguises. Yeah, like glasses and funny noses. And I really hope that's what the next chapter
Me too.
is.
They go to the dollar store.
Yeah, Party
they
City.
get those like slinky eye glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Fang
cute.
gets an eye patch.
Yeah, for sure.
Iggy gets the slinky eye glasses.
Iggy can just wear like one of those Halloween masks that they say you should
Oh, yeah.
absolutely not wear this on Halloween because it has terrible visibility. Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then Gasman can have those weird like Coke bottle glasses.
With the fake nose and the mustache though for Gasman,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I've run out of novelty glasses.
Angel can have that too.
Nudge can have the 3D glasses. And Max has aviators.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's cool.
Because she's so cool.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of what I hope the next chapter will be, shall we guess what's in the next chapter?
Seamless.
Yes.
Seamless. Amazing. Okay, so chapter 109. Oh wait, I forgot to say what we do, which is that I read you a sentence.
Any sentence?
Of the next chapter.
Just any sentence?
Yeah, any of them.
One random
No, the first
sentence.
one. And then any random sentence from the rest of the book, and you have to tell me what happens next.
That's kind of funny too, though.
No, I'm going to read the first sentence, so you have to guess what happens. So, chapter 109, your sentence is, that afternoon, we had to venture out to get food again.
They venture out to get food.
Ooh.
In disguises.
Yeah, there we go. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfection. Doesn't need anything else.
I'm really stretching.
It's only half a page, so
Oh my
yeah,
God.
you probably don't have to guess that much. But the next chapter, chapter 110, is in part 6 of this book.
Oh.
Finally.
Which is called Who's Your Daddy? Who's Your Mama?
Wow, I hate
No.
Yep. Too late. We're already here.
that. Can we stop reading this book now instead?
Yeah.
No.
I don't want to have to say who's your daddy.
Me neither.
For the next
Well,
4
you
months.
can. You don't have to. You just have to guess what's going to happen.
Okay.
Based on this sentence.
Okay.
That is so cool, Nudge said approvingly as I turned to let her see the back of my new jean jacket.
Wow.
They go shopping.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I hope there's a montage.
Me too.
That would be fun with 80s music playing over
Yeah.
it. Somehow.
In the book.
Yeah, in the book. It like opens and like a card
Yeah, like
that
yeah,
plays a
for
birthday
sure.
song. And girls just want to have fun starts playing.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, chapter 111. Up this high, I could clearly see the outline of Manhattan.
That's so high.
Why are they
Yeah,
flying
do you think-
again?
Yeah.
They're flying so high.
Like
They're birds though.
Why are they so high?
But what is going on? What is the point?
What's the point of anything?
Wow. If you really think about it, what's the point of any of it?
Yeah.
Over.
If it helps, this chapter is even shorter than the first
Oh
one.
my God.
So
Oh my god, we're gonna have
great guess,
nothing.
even though you yeah. Don't worry, the next one is slightly longer. Chapter 112. Your
Huh?
your sentence is the ocean.
That's it?
That's
That's it. That's it.
Oh,
It just says the ocean, period.
What the fuck?
God, this
Where do you think
book
they're
is
doing?
interminable.
They're becoming
They're
penguins.
at the ocean?
They're water birds
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, they're becoming boobies.
I was like, I realized penguin not the best marine bird to use in that example, but it was just the first thing that came to my mind.
But it still counts.
it
Yeah.
still counts.
I think this is maybe not the chapter, but it's the scene where we circle back to my weird remembrance is that somebody can talk to fish.
Huh?
What?
They-
Literally, one of the
Yeah.
bird kids can talk to fish.
You're right.
And I don't remember
What?
who, but I remember them being at a beach, and I think it's Angel.
Ah!
And she's like, I can talk to fish.
It's probably Angel.
Gross.
Yeah. But Gasman also feels like a strong contender.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's what's gonna happen.
Oh my god. Well, at least
Lovely.
that'll give us something to talk about. How do you talk to a fish?
Wow. Is that a start to a joke?
No.
I don't know. They just wave.
What did the fish say? Blub. No.
That's 4 chapters, right? That we guess.
I mean, yeah, we guess 4 chapters.
Probably.
Like a biology, like how do fish communicate?
Uh-huh.
We can talk about that next time.
No, they just wave.
No, that's the ocean.
Okay.
Oh,
and
sorry.
that will be our next episode. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Stay tuned for more of that. Anyway, let's talk about what else we're reading. I read Bookshops and Bone Dust, which about a month ago I told Hannah I would never read.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't make me.
No, it was
I
like
read it and cried.
a week ago you said, no, I will never read that. And then like 2 days ago you're like, wow, I read this book. It was great.
No, we have the receipts. It's when Sam mentioned that they were selling this book, which as we've established was November.
Yeah, and then I, out of the blue, out of nowhere, get a text from her just being like, yeah, buy both from the special edition, because Fairy Loot was special editions. And at first I was just like, oh, she just changed her mind. Like, she wants both. I didn't realize until like today that Sophie had actually read this book. But anyways, yeah.
Look, I would never read it. And then I got it as a skip the line loan at the library. So then I read it in 3 days and cried and immediately told Sam to buy a special edition for me.
Yeah.
For your trophy shelf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. Anyway, the other thing I started reading is I have a job now where I don't have to just write all day.
Oh.
So I started an audiobook today, guys.
Wow.
It's like the first one I've listened to in like a year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And I started reading How the Multiverse Got Its Revenge, which is the sequel to How Rory Thorne, wait, let me check.
Destroyed the multiverse?
Destroyed the universe. Multiverse? Multiverse. How Rory Thorne Destroyed the Multiverse, which I think that was one of the first books that like got me back into reading back in 2020. Like I think I had only been rereading books, and then I picked up Rory Thorne and I started reading books again.
Wow.
And I really liked it, and I haven't read the sequel even though it's been out for a really long time, and I'm having a good time with it. So that's my review thus far.
Incredible.
That's what I'm reading. What about you guys?
I am currently reading Beartown by Frederick Bachman. It's one of Hannah's favorites. And then I am reading the absolute chaos that is Shark Heart by Emily Haybeck, which, if you don't remember, is our January Midlight book club pick. It's wild. I don't know how to feel about this book, but every time I read it, I feel nauseous. So there's that.
Oh, no.
Have you gotten to the unsafe dive practice yet?
No, she just signed up for scuba diving.
You'd know.
Yeah, no. She just signed up for her open water classes.
Did she though?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Did she sign up for classes, or did she just buy dive gear and jump in the ocean with it?
Oh, she hasn't done that yet.
No, you'll know.
Oh,
wow,
okay.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, it's a book about a man turning into a great white shark, y'all. I don't have
It doesn't get
else.
clearer than that, I guess.
It's just
Clear as mud.
like, I don't have any issue with the concept. It's just the description is, I think, a little bit too much for my tummy to handle. I just don't like it. My brain is just like
it's a little more body horror-y than you would expect.
Yeah, exactly.
From a literary fiction. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Valid. I liked it, but I'm a weirdo, I guess. I'm a creep.
I might still, but we got a little ways to go. I'm only 26%, so we're getting our way through there. And then I'm just re-listening to House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas in preparation for House of Flame and Shadows, which I have pre-ordered and I'm mad about because apparently the bookstores have already released it and it's like 8 days early.
Oh.
That happens so often to you.
I thought for a Sarah J. Maas book, they would be more careful.
Right?
Like, I thought it was one of those bigger releases, but there are people across TikTok, I think it's mostly in the States, that already have access to this book. And I saw someone say that they went to their Indigo and it was there too. So I'm just like, if we go to Costco on Thursday and there's a copy there, I will probably buy it. Because I can still technically cancel my pre-order. But anyways, that
is so wild. It's so wild because, like, I used to work at Indigo. And, like, I remember, I forget which Percy Jackson book it was, but one of the Percy Jackson books was coming out while I worked there. And we had, like, boxes upon boxes of it in the storage area that we were working in. And it was, like, on pain of death, you weren't allowed to open those boxes until the day it was stocking day. You know, like, they had, like, big labels, like, do not touch these. The security cameras are watching them.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did it change so drastically? I guess pre-ordering is what changed it, is they were like, well, you know, we can just release it whenever because people aren't going to pile in to buy it the first day. They're going to pre-order it.
But, like, even for those midnight releases back then, like when Deathly Hallows came out, I still had to pre-order it, like, before going to the midnight events. Like, it was same with Mockingjay, it was Deathly Hallows, and I think it was Breaking Dawn. It was like you still had to, like, pay ahead and essentially pre-order it and bring your, like, pre-order ticket with you to the midnight event. But, like, there was no releasing these books any sooner. Like, so I don't know what has happened. And, like, with Sarah J. Maas, I was like, well, she's popular enough. There's no way that they'll release it early. And yet now they have. And I'm just like, I'm whatever about it because the book is $43 and I got it for $24 with, like, all my discounts and pre-ordering. So I'm like, whatever, fine. But I'm just, like, annoyed that it's, like, it's not supposed to be until January 30th. And I saw people on January 18th who already had copies of it. Because apparently, like, Safeway in the States started releasing it. I know. I was like, what? Anyways, I'm just grumpy.
I almost feel like, understandably, maybe it's that, I feel like this has to do with, like, a staffing. You know, like, not wanting to pay as many staff. So maybe they just, like, instead of having everyone in, right, like, they probably don't have as many overnight staff as they used to, like, stock shelves or whatever.
Maybe.
And so they probably, like, do it a couple boxes at a time over the course of, like, a week because they're like, whatever.
Yeah, that could be it.
Or maybe there used to be, like, legal penalties for releasing a book early, and now, like, they can't enforce them because book sales have gone down everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, doesn't matter because I'm still re-listening to it, so I can wait.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, there you go.
What about Hannah?
I don't have that. Well, okay.
Whoa.
I don't think I have that much.
Not reading any books?
I don't have that much interesting to say, I guess. I did read in the interim A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher because, of course, I read another T. Kingfisher book recently. And at the moment, I am finished that and trying to, like, get a few more chapters into Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. I'm at about 460 pages of this 860-page book.
Dang.
So.
Good job.
When did you start it?
I started it in 2021.
Wow.
And then I just put it down for like a year and a half and refused to admit that I'd stopped reading it. So I picked it back up again because I want to finish it this year. And it's weird because every time I pick it up and I start reading it, I enjoy myself and I have a good time. But the in-between times, I'm like, oh no, this book is so stressful. Too intimidating. And then I'm listening to Inheritance by Christopher Paolini, which is the last book in the Aragon series, I guess, before
I was going to say, not anymore.
Yeah. It's the conclusion of the Aragon storyline, I guess. Sure. And that is a 31-hour audiobook for some reason.
Ooh, wow.
Inheritance?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of books.
It is not that deep, my dude. It is literally just Aragon. That's so unnecessary.
How many chapters in the later books do you think Aragon wakes up into or falls asleep in?
All of them.
I haven't been paying attention. I feel like it hasn't been as bad. There's certainly been some. And also starting in the second book, it alternates with Roran POV chapters. So there's like a little bit broken up between the two of them. And like this time around, I've noticed for sure that more chapters are ending on cliffhangers and then moving to like the next character's POV.
Dang.
So he's definitely picked up some new tricks of his trade.
I missed the falling asleep out of chapters, though.
It was fun.
Max did it in this episode. What are you even talking about?
Yeah, but I miss it with Aragon.
Yeah. I was thinking about Aragon all day at work today, so like clearly there's something in these books.
So like a normal day for
Shut
you
up.
is what you're saying.
Okay, anyway, those are the books I'm currently reading. But a thing I could be reading next is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming, which is going to be our February book club book for the Midlight Book Club.
Exciting!
I'm delighted by this absolute nonsense of a title.
I got the audiobook today,
Ooh.
which I feel like is a choice. I mean, I didn't have a choice. The libraries only have the audiobooks for some reason. But me deciding that I will, in fact, be listening to this book on audio format is a decision that I have made.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
My library didn't have it at all, so I had to spend my real dollars on it.
Dang.
But I could not bring myself to buy the physical copy. For some reason, that seemed a bridge too far. So I have the ebook in my possession.
Maybe you'll like it so much that you'll want the physical copy later.
Honestly might just love it and have to collect the entire series. We'll find out. Tune in next time, or maybe the time after that, depending on how quickly I get to it.
Yeah, when Fairy Loot does a naked hardcover with embossed text on it, then we'll buy it.
God, why have they not done more naked hardback romance novels and just like made a pun out of it? I feel like people would eat that up.
Because they'd have to like guilt them.
Yeah.
And also people don't buy hardcover romance novels.
Some people do. Isn't that the whole point isn't that the whole point of Book of the Month? So you can get your romance novels in hardcover?
I was like, I think just straight standalone romance, they usually, historically, they have not made hardcovers of them.
No.
They're usually all like paperback.
Yeah, like straight to mass market. No, but the girlies want their hardcovers.
Yeah, we've been over this. What is romance as a genre, though?
I don't know. Probably this. It's called That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, and there's a couple of people inches away from making out on the cover. I think this probably counts.
It could be platonic. There's no romance suggested in the cover.
There kind of is. Next time I see you, I'm gonna touch your face like they're doing on this cover, and you tell me how platonic it feels.
No touch face.
No touching. Imagine if you touched your friends' faces like that. That would be wild.
I'm sure some people
probably do.
In my culture, Quebec.
Yeah? What do they do in Quebec?
All of that.
Oh, yeah?
Kissing both cheeks, the forehead, all over.
Yuck.
Anyway, that's all with that.
All right. Yeah. If you liked this chapter of Midlight Crisis, consider rating and reviewing us on Spotify or your podcatcher of choice. You can talk to us and find fun-related content on social media. We are at Midlight Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. And all chapters of the show thus far are available on our website, midlightpod.podbean.com, and on YouTube.
And Max's voice now channeling my therapist. Worry is unproductive.
Damn.
Is that going to stop me?
That's
No.
It's never stopped me before.
Never once stopped me before. I can do all sorts of unproductive things. Just watch me.
I worry so much that my not worrying, decatastrophizing my catastrophizing is now productive for me. So, ha!
Wow.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did
You
it.
circumvented this.
Take that, voice!
Okay. Is that what the little man who lives in your head says?
No,
There's
no more little mans
man
in
in my head. I'm ending my recording now.